All right, we're recording. Welcome back, everybody, to the number one podcast on YouTube. I think it's safe to say this is the number one podcast on YouTube now, seeing as our last video did incredible. Hang on, I'm going to whip out the analytics on this real quick.
Oh, you're getting analytical on them.
Here we go.
Yeah, you guys are great. A lot of feedback. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we have some awesome feedback. Hang on, I'm just whipping out the last episode. All right, the last episode just hit 50 views. 50 views, that's insane. 7 likes, zero dislikes, no criticism.
Let's go, baby.
And we got 5 comments. We're going to give a couple of shout-outs here. Bruh Magic, who I'm pretty sure is Nate, says, such an underrated channel. Always look forward to your uploads. Thank you, Nate. We're excited to have you on the show in a few episodes.
We aim to please.
Max Layden says, get ready for the Max pod. Yeah, get ready. Coming up in a couple episodes. We had a long list of people that want to be on this show. So, yeah, we're going to get to a lot of people coming up. Be sure to stick around, like, subscribe, turn on post noties. Alright, Heidi Tallman says, great vid. I may or may not have taken her phone to comment that, but it's no worries. Bernie Townsend comments, Vamos Catos. If you watched the last podcast, you get it.
Alright. I'll do it.
Marty,
one more time. Do it one more time for the new listeners.
Vamos
Catos.
Marty comments 2 hand emojis that I think signify something positive. Alright, yeah, so anyway, the last podcast did really good. We crushed our goals. We said in the last episode that if we got 30 views, 5 likes, and 5 comments, that we would kill Bernie's Minecraft dog. And we obviously crushed all those goals, but nobody dropped a comment as to how we should kill Bernie's Minecraft dog. So, do that. We gotta take care of that. Definitely, probably for the next episode. It's not gonna happen in this one. Don't really know how, but yeah, you're probably seeing some Rocket League gameplay right now. Pretty bomb.
Top tier.
Yeah, top notch. But yeah. So drop a comment. How should we kill Bernie's Minecraft dog, Charlie D'Amelio? And we'll make it happen in the next episode. So
get creative. Get really creative, man. Like.
Yeah, it can be anything. Anything you can think of.
Anything the mind desires.
We will make it happen.
We got you covered.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
So we got a couple. Yeah. Go.
Just just like a couple takeaways from last time. I think it was definitely better than the first one.
Oh, obviously.
And just a couple things I noticed, like just bad things. Like I felt like, I don't know if it's like a speech impediment or some shit that I have, but there's another couple of other kids that I know that do it, where they hold on to the sentence that they're saying, and it kind of I hate hearing myself talk, and I bet a lot of you guys feel the same way. But I really I'll say something, and then I'll make the sound a lot at the end of it.
I'm getting more used to hearing it just because of because editing and stuff. I'm just hearing it more. I'm starting to.
And then I also said all the time, but that shit pisses me off so much.
Yeah, it's easy to fall back on. We both did that in the last one. It's easy to fall back on.
Yeah, I'll try to. I don't know. That's just something that I feel like I'm not good at. I don't know. I just don't listen to myself talk.
All right, yeah. Segue into our first topic for today. Pet peeves. So we're gonna be kind of doing like a what grinds my gears segment today. Bernie, do you want to kick us off with something that a pet peeve, something that grinds your gears?
What's really been pissing me off is not really I get that they're annoying, like the hype house on TikTok or whatever. This it's kind of an old topic, I guess, but people that make the hype house for everything, bro. I'm sorry, you fucking 45-year-old fuck. You don't need to have the New York State upstate podcast, bro. No one gives a fuck, okay?
Okay, everything you just said didn't make sense. I'm gonna give you another shot at that. Yeah, the viewer does not know what's going on.
Alright, so you know how when you be on TikTok, it's kind of old though, you know what I mean? I haven't seen a lot of this lately. But every motherfucker, I see it all the time. It's just it's the blank hype house. What the fuck? One, it's not even a house. You're not living together.
Yeah,
for example,
the whole point of the hype.
There's one guy.
Here you go.
The one guy. No, okay. The one guy is a 45-year-old dude, and he's like, "This is the New York upstate pod or hype house," and he just shows places in New York that he thinks are cool, cool nature shit. You're 45 years old. You probably live alone. Okay, like there's no house being talked about here, and then there's no hype either. There's neither. Okay, like I'm so
There's no
sick of
hype.
it,
There's no
man.
house. You're not allowed to call yourself a hype house. The whole point of the hype
No,
house was that it was
thing
people.
about this guy. I'll keep talking about this guy. He fucking shits on New York City all the time, bro. No one gives a fuck about upstate New York. Okay, like I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Like
most
no
people
one
from other
cares.
countries don't even know this area exists. They just hear New York
Yeah.
and think it's the city. I mean,
Bro, what I did, my cousin like did something like she like taught in Malaysia or something. So we had to like write letters to them, and I was like explaining where I lived, and I said like I'm not from the city. I like circled. I was like not from the city because if you like tell anyone even from like Canada that you're from New York, they're gonna be like, oh, the city, because no one gives a fuck. Okay, like
yeah. I
I'm
mean,
ain't shit.
yeah. The whole point of the original hype house, right, was it was people that had hype, and then they all actually bought a house. And you're right. I mean, all these other ones, the hockey hype house, the political hype houses are the worst ones.
Dude,
Nobody gives a
That's
shit.
the worst one.
First of all,
And-
nobody gives a shit about what you think about politics in the first place, much less anybody on TikTok. Nobody on TikTok wants to see you all band together now and be, oh, the Republican hype house. Nobody cares. It's the same. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. We're not a sided political podcast, but like, nobody gives a shit. If you
I'll
feel
cut a
the
lot of
need,
people some slack. That's people that are younger, like, but still like our age. Like, if you're like 15, 16, come on now. That's like, don't be fucking stupid. But also, like, that's just the thing that like pissed me off the most about this. And like the old dude, I was like, you're 45. Like,
the best part of the ones that have like applications in the bios. Where, apply now. Apply for what? To get to make videos? That's what I saw.
That pisses me off. This kind of goes into that. Is that whole like sub like the sub like Snapchat thought like like the people that kind of have like they just add everybody to the account on Snapchat. And
That's a pet peeve. That's a pet
and that whole like
peeve,
Yubo thing is like tied into it.
That's a pet peeve, man. Is Snapchat thoughts? Holy shit! There are people on. You just add everybody, and you send out mass snaps. Their stories are always wrecks. If you're posting consistently,
it's so funny.
If you're posting consistently on a public story, I don't like you, and I just feel the need to make that known. And, they're always posting like it's always, oh, who's got Nick and Toga? Hit me up.
It's so accurate, bro. What was I gonna say? No, like, oh fuck.
They're always in beef with other Snapchat thoughts too. There's always something going on between them.
But they always like working together to get like more fucking Snapchat ad. Like, what the
no,
fuck
exactly.
Are you doing, man?
There's always people getting plugged on their stories. There's always people getting like outed on their stories, exposed and shit. Like, oh, so and so did this, so and so did that. I don't care. Don't put it on your public story. I don't want any part in it. If I see that shit, I usually like just block them because you most of the time they add you and you're like, oh, that's a good looking Bitmoji. Like, okay, they could be hot. Then you add them and you have no idea what you're getting into. It's a wreck. Bernie, are you still there? Okay, we might have lost Bernie. Hang on, everybody. Bernie, we can't hear you if you're talking, bud. Yeah, okay, we're still a new podcast. We're figuring some shit out. Hang on. We might take a cutaway. Okay, we're back, everybody. Sorry about that.
Alright.
Had a bit of a technical issue.
Basically. I honestly thought you like ended it or some shit because I said
okay.
like if you're above the age of like 14 and doing that shit, you should just kill yourself. So
that was on Discord. That was on Discord. Discord kind of fucked up there. But all right, we got it back.
I don't know how much
we're a new podcast. We're a new podcast. We're still learning. But
yeah. Also, I'd just like to apologize to anybody that like hears my buttons. Like I'm playing NHL right now, and sometimes the fights get a little heated. So I'm just gonna hear that. But.
So anyway, we were on the topic of Snapchat thoughts. Yeah, there's always beef going on between the Snapchat thoughts. For instance,
No, the one thing is, it's everybody's the same too. You know what I mean? Like they all have like the glasses, and they're all like, not trying to like body shame or anything, but they're usually pretty large, right? And it's always like chest up or like just like the face with like a shit ton of filters, bro. You're
All
not
right,
fooling
yeah.
anyone.
Okay, I'm looking at one story right now. Okay, immediately there's a filter on. Pulling an all-nighter. Okay, I don't care. Second slide has a screenshot of somebody's exact, like, their entire profile. Wouldn't recommend talking to this dude. He's a perv. Okay.
Well,
Always trying to out people. Who knows what Josh did, but
I'm gonna say it. I guarantee this homie like is also a weirdo. Don't get me wrong, he's definitely also a weirdo. But I guarantee he like fucking like screenshotted some shit and she got all pissed off and then like
let's be honest.
They're all weirdos.
The vast majority of these Snapchat thoughts too, they are dispensing nudes. Like this stuff is. There are people in our grade that are into that shit.
Actually, I was gonna say that we should do like a speed run, like how quickly, but then I was like, it's probably illegal.
Yeah, you don't want to get too deep in it. Look, there are people in our grade. There are people in our grade that are into that
illegal.
Shit. There are people in our grade that are into that
shit. I know, it's weird, man. It's weird.
It's usually linked to TikTok. I think people can kind of pick up what I'm putting down.
All right. That's cool. Let's cool it, man.
But yeah, we're not allowed to name drop people.
All right. Well, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Okay. This relates to a theory that I have. Is that when you're bored, you do stupid shit, and that applies for all things.
No, because these people have nothing better to do. They have nothing better to do.
No, exactly.
They're always they're all drug addicts, man.
Exactly. It's fucking weird, bro.
Always looking for weed. Always looking for jewels and shit. It's kind of dumb, but I mean,
if you need that shit to have fun, like
no, it all stems
whatever
it all stems from a lack of just other stuff to do because they get bored.
A lack of like parental attention.
Yeah, that's something else too. That's what I'm saying, man. If you're looking for drugs or you're looking for sex or whatever, I don't care.
It's so public. It's so public.
Yeah, exactly. If you're willing to put that on a public story, chances are I do not really get jiggy with your personality.
Not getting jiggy with it, huh?
Will Smith is out of here because I don't know if people get that reference, but okay. Yeah, it's just stupid. Other pet peeves.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's
move on to let's get on to some other pet peeves. We kind of ranted long enough about that.
All right, I got one, but you can kind of drop one, and then we can do that.
You go.
Into our next topic.
You go.
What kind of segues into our next topic? So I was going to save it.
Which one is yours? Which one is yours?
Like the kind of the one that's like everything has to be a gang.
Oh yeah. Okay. No. Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah, we discussed this before because as we were told by our loyal viewers, we need to it needs to flow more. We can't have as many like little pauses where we don't know what's going on. So we discussed what we were going to talk about before the podcast this time.
Yeah. A little bit more effort.
Yeah, so another pet peeve that I have, and I guess this sort of relates to the whole Snapchat thing, but people that think they're funny but aren't. There is an abundance. There's an abundance of this in our world, and I don't understand it. I mean,
humor is subjective. That's. I mean, yeah.
It's subjective, but there's a point where it's just who the fuck thinks this is funny. I'm on TikTok.
Shit with like the.
I'm on TikTok, man, and I see stuff that motherfuckers in our grade are posting, and I'm just who like hyped you up enough to post this? Mostly driver's license type material. Yeah, people might know what we're talking about. It's just like that's not. Did you think this was funny? You're laughing through the whole thing, which so evidently you did, but I just sit there and I'm like that emoji with like the line mouth. You know what I'm talking about? And it's just like it's dumb.
It's so funny, dude, because like girls will be on some like they'll say some like really unfunny shit, and then some of the people just laugh just because like.
Oh,
I hate when people.
random
What?
ass chicks turn into Dave Chappelle when you're fucking horny. Let's be honest, okay?
Yo.
I mean, if you're like that, or if you're even worse, if you're a simp, man, 24/7, everything these people are saying, you turn, I don't know, a 6 out of 10 into Will Ferrell. Whenever they say anything. Oh, your TikTok of singing driver's license, that was so funny, man. It was so quirky how you didn't know the words. Did you send me booty pics now?
Yo, can you put the graphic on the screen?
What?
Use sex. Can you put the graphic on the screen that says me use
Yeah,
sex?
if it's not up on the screen, it's because it's late and I didn't want to edit it. But that would actually be a good idea.
Yeah, okay. No, it's just like that's just another thing in general that I guess pet peeve. Like I mean, everybody did this shit in middle school, but I'm kind of past that point. It's just like changing your personality for like, you know what I mean? Like you just gotta stay the same all the time now. I be
For
staying
sure.
the same all the time now.
That's the thing. There are probably people in our grade that are like, "Oh, look at Jimmy and Birdie. They're so stupid. They're doing a podcast. Who thinks that's funny?"
You know what?
Our
You know what?
50.
Sometimes I have to say to
You
those
can
people,
you can suck
lick my nuts, lick my nuts. Okay.
If you are not fucking with this podcast, you can talk to the hand and talk to our 50 viewers because I'm sure they'll say otherwise.
That's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah, sort of just a little motivational moment here, but like, do what you like. We're having a fun time doing this.
The revolution, the podcast army.
This is a topic for another day, but you can kind of throw preconceived notions out the window. This is probably we can probably talk about that with Nate. That would be a good podcast topic for Nate. But
Nate's he got some good insight.
Yeah, I mean,
what else was there?
We'll discuss that more at length in another episode. We got a lot to say on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, do your pet peeve.
This can be the last one before the next one.
Yeah.
But just like people in general that like not really gatekeeping, because like for sports teams, like like all that shit, like, oh, you're bandwagon, I love that, you know what I mean? Like you can gatekeep that.
Mm-hmm.
You can gatekeep some artists, like, you know, like I get it.
When X died in seventh grade, that was a wreck though. Circling back to the Snapchat thoughts, because just everything in the universe that's wrong revolves around them. But they were gatekeeping that shit hard. He helped me through my depression. You don't get to like. You're not as sad as I am. And let's be honest, nobody was really that sad. We were just like, oh, okay, like that sucks. If you were really torn up over X dying, I'm just going to drop it on this podcast, okay? In 10 years, when we're like Joe Rogan, people are probably going to come back to this and be like, oh, you're such an idiot. But X wasn't that good, okay? He had like 3 good songs, and
I mean, I guess if you're into that screaming shit, like, yeah, whatever. But if you're into that screaming shit, like, go fuck yourself. That shit's weird.
Okay. Anyway, continue with your thing.
Just like if you people that like, for example, like if I said that I liked like Moonlight or some shit, and then they got all pissed off because I don't like the screaming shit, because it's not like his most because I like his mainstream stuff, like those kind of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this really goes along with like Tyler. Like I'm not a big Tyler the Creator fan.
He's a cool guy, but yeah, I don't like his music.
We don't like. I'm not into that. Like, you know, I don't know. I just like stuff that's like better, like Uzi and
some of that stuff too that's supposed to be underground has just become mainstream at this point because everybody wants to be into the underground shit. You know, that's a big thing of, you know, just liking stuff that isn't popular for the sake of
it kind of goes along
with
too. You should actually listen to Frank Ocean. Frank Ocean's kind of good.
I've heard some of his stuff. He's okay. I know people really like him. I think that's,
for example, bro.
I don't really listen to pop, but I think that's like pop now, and I don't really mind it.
Yeah, I think it is. But yeah, so like for example, like if I just say like my favorite like Tyler the Creator song is like Earthquake or whatever, and people get pissed off at me for saying that. But that's like the only song, like out of all his songs, that's the only one that I genuinely like. You know what I mean? And then I saw something on TikTok today. It was like, if Bound 2 is your favorite song on Yeezus, shut the fuck up. And I was like, well, like, That's like honestly one of the only good songs
Yeah.
on that, because I don't like the fucking experimental like make your ears bleed shit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's not
And,
my style.
Yeah, music's all subjective. You can't. I don't really hate on people for. One thing I don't like, man. Okay, I don't like when people are like, "Oh, you can listen to whatever music you want, but country music sucks." Okay, country music isn't that bad.
I don't like country music.
You just
but
don't
I'm
know.
not gonna.
You just don't know like where the good stuff is, because some of it. Because the worst of country music is what's I think considered popular, and that stuff is bad. I will give people that.
Yeah.
But the good
No,
stuff
I
is
don't
actually
even.
good. People just don't know where to listen to it.
The thing is, I don't really think it's bad. It's just like I'd rather listen to a lot of other stuff.
I don't.
You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
listen to it as much as I used to, but.
Also, I'm gonna give the homies a quick music suggestion here. Big Booty Mix 13. Just look it up, man.
Yeah, just go on
It's
SoundCloud and
gotta be
listen to all those mixes. They're so good. If you're
so
working
good,
out,
man.
if you're walking, if you're at school, it doesn't matter. They're just good. Okay.
Such a good.
Yes, we were.
Want me to go to my next one?
Yeah.
That's
We
kind of segues into the
gotta
other one.
push this through a little bit.
Yeah. The other one is just anything when people think it's funny or they start laughing. This also goes along with like unfunny girls. I don't know. They're not really trying to be funny. It's just something that pisses me off. Because when people put like gang after everything, not because it has nothing to do with like real gangs or anything. How it's like disrespecting that lifestyle or whatever. But it's more so just like it's just annoying. Like, so say if I went to I went to Pashley, right? That's like if I asked a girl like, "Yo, like what elementary school did you go to?" And she was just like, "Oh, Pashley." And I was like, "Oh, me too." And then she was like, "Oh, Pashley gang." Like that shit just pisses me off, man. I can't stand it. Like after anything, it's just
No,
like.
to be fair,
You know what I mean?
To be fair, the kids from Pashley are a pretty tight knit group.
Yeah, but you still don't say it, man. It's just annoying.
Kind of been through the gauntlet together going to that school. But yeah, for all our viewers that didn't go to Pashley, you kind of missed out. I know. There was a lot of that, especially in early middle school, where it was, oh, this school was better, this school was better, this school. Pashley was a weird case because Pashley was both terrible and incredible at the same time.
Yeah, no, it was honestly it was just such a good like just mix of kids.
It was a good culture and a good environment. But the actual school setting was horrendous. It was kind of a. It wasn't like a ghetto school, but it was the most ghetto you're gonna get for Burnt Hills.
Yeah, no, like there's like a murder like in the woods behind the school.
Like 3 people died on that campus in the span of a week, like 3 years ago, and you hear nothing about it.
Yeah,
which is kind of
that
weird.
was brutal, man.
But
and then what was I gonna say? It's just a mix of kids, like at our school, like you wouldn't get. I've heard stories like parents at like Trouble Nights and shit would like they'd like, oh, like I'm gonna send my school in like a North Face jacket, bro. Kids in Passion just didn't give a fuck. Like,
yeah,
like people, like you could wear whatever you wanted, and you weren't gonna get clowned, like regardless. You know what I mean? Like
it was a good.
Everybody
kind of culture.
It was nobody was really like mean to each other. We were just like all kind of not like fucked in the head, but like there was some funny shit, and it wasn't like hurting each other. It was more so just like just shit we probably shouldn't have done. Like,
yeah, I mean, well, I think the best testament to the way Pashley was there was a 420 spray painted on the back of that school for our entire tenure there. Like nobody ever covered it up.
They took it off in like the last year. It's just 420.
It was just there. There was a giant fuck carved like right above the slide with a pencil. I was there when the kid did it too.
Yeah. That's funny, man. That's a part of Passion history right there.
Yeah, I was actually a witness to that. Happened at Y Care, which is our.
Also, this is kind of a side tangent though. Why the fuck? Like this? Why the fuck did we do Dare in 5th grade? Like,
yeah, I know.
It's so like unhelpful. That would have been helpful starting in like at the earliest like 7th grade.
It was kind of funny. Also, drugs are not as big a problem at Burnt Hills as they are at other schools, though, and that's just a.
Yeah.
People aren't really doing that stuff as much, and the stuff they are doing is low key enough that if you're smoking weed, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, like no one really like whatever.
At this point, that stuff's pretty much borderline legal. You're not really gonna get in trouble for it. But
it doesn't even really do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I remember on the first day of that though, when Officer Dunbar rolled up and he was, "Oh, can anybody tell us the name of drug?" You know, we were all, weed, weed, alcohol, and Kyle just starts slamming
You know what's funny
off.
about that? Was when I just remember this vividly when everybody was just naming different like street names for marijuana.
Yeah, I know.
there's like pot, and then somebody was just like weed, and then it was like marijuana.
He said, "Guys, this is the same drug."
He was like, "That falls under marijuana." We're like, "Oh, okay."
And I think, dude,
We didn't know.
then Kyle was just slamming shit off.
Crystal meth, PCP.
He was slamming. He was listing off like combinations, like speed. He was listing off, codeine, ecstasy. He knew all the opioids. Like ecstasy. He was Xanax, Tylenol, Oxy. It was funny.
Okay, so the thing that I saw on TikTok, I don't know, I'm kind of on TikTok way too much, but I saw there's like they were talking just like how like the war on drugs and shit, and like how bad those like big pharma companies like just like push their products.
Yeah.
Dude, they literally made like Oxycontin like plush toys. Like that sounds like something that like those stoner like hype, or what would I say, like hype beast kind of things, you know what I mean?
I know.
But they actually like those are like official, like it's not like somebody made that after like Oxycontin like produced like plush toys like of the pill.
that's funny, dude.
And there's also like Oxycontin pens that sell for like $50 now. So it's just Oxycontin. It's so messed up.
Yeah,
that whole like pharmacy like opioid epidemic. That shit's crazy, man. That's nuts. A lot of people don't talk about that, but
yeah. Kyle had some great moments in elementary school. That's when he peaked. Y Care was where it was really going down.
This is all you. I wasn't in Y Care.
So the Pashley branch of Y Care was like that was considered the worst behaved branch of Y Care in the nation, and the stats backed it up too. So they would have these things called behavior reports that they would hand out anytime somebody did something stupid or bad, and they like give it to your parents as a way to say like, oh, your kid did this, and to tell them and whatnot. So they had multiple people from the corporate level of the YMCA come in because we were apparently so like poorly behaved, and the big one that came in was like the vice president, or it was somebody really fucking high up in the YMCA food chain. But they came in and they were like, oh, so the average number of behavior reports in a Y Care branch every month is I think they said 14 or 15. Which, okay, so like one kid every other day is getting in trouble. We set the 1 month record, apparently, with 147 in a month.
How do you is it like an exact number? You just not really know.
It was in the 140s. I know that. And
that's funny, man.
I mean, 140 divided by 3. That's like four. That's 4 pushing 5 behavior reports a day. I mean, that's insane.
The other thing with Kyle that I remember is just like he's such a good negotiator. Like,
oh, for sure. Going through the lunch line. I do not want the fruit. Just give me a second slice of pizza. If I don't get the milk, I don't care.
I'm still hungry. He also didn't he like negotiate, like he was really smart. Like he knew,
he's a smart guy.
He knew how they operated, you know what I mean? So the teacher would be like,
he'd
be like, okay, I will stay inside for the next week if you not tell my mom. Like,
or he would when he would go back through the lunch line, you were always supposed to like only get a fruit if you were still hungry, but he would always manage to come out of there with some additional snack, like because he would go through and he would say, like, I will pay you to give me another piece of pizza, because he always had money. I mean, he would go in there with like 50 cents though, and come walking out with another slice. Like, it was just really, it was. He was a master negotiator, and then he would usually trade that pizza for something else. If somebody
Exactly.
if somebody had a dessert item or something, that was immediately getting traded.
Man.
Devin was always rolling up with like devil dogs, and those are always
Yo,
somehow ending up in
yeah.
Kyle's hands.
Yeah, Devin was kind of running a business, I remember. And I would do that shit too. I think I would like I'd like trade like my Oreos for one of those and then like exchange one of those for money, I think. So I made a couple bucks back in the day, but
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it was just, dude, those were just awesome times, man. Like,
Yeah, Pashley was awesome.
I don't know, I wouldn't really trade that experience for anything else.
Neither would I.
It
That's why I
six.
always say it was the best elementary school.
Yeah, dude, people don't know, man. They don't like. They always say that like Pashley produces the most thoughts and shit, but like, I don't know.
Can I? Okay, I'm legitimately thinking right now. Can I name a thought that came out of Pashley? I'm not gonna on the podcast, but I'm just thinking.
In our grade, let me think, man.
In our grade, I don't know.
I'm trying to think. I can't. I'm probably gonna think and be like, oh, there's one that I definitely know, but I'm thinking, like, I don't really know, man.
I mean, there's like a couple people that maybe it might apply to, but nobody really nuts. I don't think.
I mean, I can name a couple from Stevens if you want me to, but I'm not going to. Maybe not a couple. I mean,
it's not really. Yeah, we're not allowed to name
Yeah,
drop
dude.
people, so it's kind of difficult.
Probably shouldn't openly call someone fucking thought on our podcast.
But
Like,
yeah, seeing as we're starting out still. We don't want to get, I don't know, blacklisted by the whole school.
we don't want people to fucking shit on us because we make a shitty podcast at school. Like, everything. Oh, you make a podcast?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself, pussy. Like,
You know what?
I don't.
We do not care.
Need to tell you right now, we do not care. But yeah, I probably would start to care if people started saying my podcast sucks and shit. So keep it positive, guys. Okay. You got anything else?
We
We're
can probably
gonna
do an
talk about something else,
icebreaker.
weren't
We just have icebreaker
Wasn't there-
questions.
Wasn't there something else we were gonna talk about though? I feel like something was kind of cool, but I don't really remember.
Well,
so.
we have like questions because we did our bailout topics because we were apparently too dull at times in the last podcast. So
Nah, but what? Bro,
What?
I swear there's something else we were gonna talk about.
no, I have it written down right here. Intro,
it's pretty
recap,
late.
last episode, talk about Bernie's dog, pet peeves, Pashley stories, icebreakers.
Dude, we gotta have something. It's this one's felt really quick
It's
though. 'Cause it's already pretty late.
1:33 a.m. Man,
Well, we've already gone like 30 minutes, so I mean.
yeah.
All right.
Do like one or two of these, and then we'll.
We could do all of them, honestly.
These always
Yeah,
spark good stuff. Okay.
All right.
So the first one we have is, what
Okay.
would the world be like if it was made of male or female copies of you?
I'm telling you, it'd be a great place, man. Everybody. I mean, I don't know. It would be boring. I don't know if it would be boring though, because everybody's the same.
There would be. I wonder if there would be conflict in that situation. You know.
It probably would, honestly, just because like you get mad at yourself sometimes, and then like a lot of times people do just like unjustifiably get mad at other people. You know what I mean?
So I
Like,
guess
do that
I guess
too,
a better
So
question.
if that's me though, right? If I
Yeah.
and I personally get unjustifiably mad at other people, then everybody else will, because everybody's me.
So then what
You know what I mean?
happens? Does the world just fall
Sometimes-
apart because everybody hates each other? I mean, what happens when one of the yous is like gets really fucked up in the head and wants to go like, I don't know, kill people? Do all the yous want to go kill people?
I don't know. Jeez.
I thought of the third three. We can say philosophy because we're having deep conversations. So it can be pet peeves, Pashley, and philosophy. In the title.
Yeah, there we go. That's
go.
a 10 out of 10 title. This one I'm starting to feel isn't as good as the last one.
No, there are. I think
solid.
the highs are higher. I would say.
Nah, I don't know. Just
Okay, this is stuff to talk. This is stuff to talk about after the podcast.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to say the world would be pretty good. I'm always biased though because I think I'm a good person. Other people might not. But I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it depends on just the way you be looking at it. What else? What's the next one?
Okay.
Next question.
We'll probably end on this one. What is something that's popular now but is going to be seen as really embarrassing 5 years from now?
Like embarrassing that people do now?
Yeah.
Well, TikTok.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say
Snapchat.
TikTok.
Snapchat thoughts.
TikTok.
But that's just anything. That's not like really a trend. It's just people doing stupid shit when they're younger and then realizing, oh, that's really stupid.
No, yeah, well, TikTok is just, people are going to look back on those TikTok dances the same way that people look back on, I don't know, their old musicallys and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at how cringy I was, or that's how people are probably going to look back on them.
Hold on, what's that? Good to be alive right about now. Shout out Luke Solid, by the way. Wait, do you have that on your phone or no?
I don't know. I can't really put videos into a podcast, but actually, I probably could. It would just be kind of a pain in the ass.
I don't. That's kind of brutal though. That's probably one of the most embarrassing things he's done, and I don't want that coming back to me and people because I've done a lot of like embarrassing shit too. So But what comes around is all around, as Ricky from Trailer Park Boys would say.
That's gonna be seen as a people are gonna look back on that poorly or not in a good light. I think Snapchat thoughts are gonna look back on their actions in a negative light too because they're wrong.
Will they though? Like,
what's gonna happen to Snapchat thoughts?
But people that
do they just become like prostitutes? They already kind of are. Some of them are. Max was saying some chick in our area is like selling an OnlyFans. And there's no way she's 18. Bernie? Oh my god, it cut out again. Okay. Well, this is Discord being bad, so we're probably just going to sign off, everybody. Yeah, sorry this isn't the great end that you were expecting, but hopefully you guys like this podcast. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. We're probably going to have a guest on, because we know these are getting a little stale just between us. So, well, yeah, we'll definitely spice it up a bit. Comment how you want us to kill Bernie's dog, and we'll see you guys later. All right, peace out, everybody.